There is nothing more for me. Lead me in to set me free. Things not what they used to be.
Good morning. The Old Navy Chief coming at you from the top of Montesano. Shadow and I just finished about 6 miles. Combined a couple of trails up here. He done our last practice hike before we go to Georgia next week. Do our first section hike. He did great in the tent last night. Kept guard all night. So I think we're ready. Today I want to talk to you about what I consider the top 10 dangers of hiking in the southern woods. Some of these you may not agree with, but I have had interaction with all 10 of them. So, if you want to rate them different, that's great. You may be allergic to bees, you may be allergic to poison ivy, you may put that higher up in your list. But for me, number 10 is poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac. They hadn't been much of a problem for me. Poison ivy's never been bothered by. Poison oak has got me once, and it wasn't pleasant. It spread pretty quick. So you got to be careful. Leaves are free, leave it be. Don't burn any brush shrubs you're not certain of. If you burn poison ivy, poison oak, the oils get in the smoke, you inhale it, and you have tons of problems. So leaves are free, leave it be, just stay away from it. You do get it, calamine lotion is about the only thing that works. Number 9 on my list, chiggers. Microscopic larvae of a mite. Can't see them. They love pine straw, they love pine bark, leaves, old logs, stumps. If you sit on a rock, you can get chiggers. They're everywhere. Very, very annoying. Little red bumps that you itch till they bleed. Then you get infected, then you have trouble. I use DEET, 20% at least or above. I've gone up to 40%. Spray everything, your socks, your ankles, your waist, your clothes. Some people are buying insect shield. It's clothing with promethium in it. I haven't tried that yet, but it probably works. Number 8 on my list is mosquitoes. Down here, mosquitoes carry West Nile, Zika, dengue fever. Once again, they're annoying. Red raised bumps. Some people they're attracted, mosquitoes are attracted to them. So make certain you spray everywhere. Wipe it in your face, your hair, spray it on your hat, your arms, any exposed skin. If you have bad problems with mosquitoes, don't wear shorts, don't wear short sleeve shirts. Long sleeves, long pants, and spray down. Number 7, the red fire ant. It's an imported species. Actually came to America via a cargo ship that landed at Mobile Bay in the 50s, and they've spread. Terrible, terrible little creature. Large mound, you can see them. Sometimes they build the mound in pine straw or up against an old stump. Sometimes you'll never see it. If you step into a mound, they're going to swarm on you, and you will get multiple bites, hundreds of bites. I sat down beside a pine tree turkey hunting once. Never realized there was a fire ant bed behind the tree. By the time they got through biting me, it looked like I'd been shot with a shotgun. My whole backside was peppered. Needless to say, it ruined my turkey hunt. Ended up getting sick. Had to go home. Was not a good experience. Number 6, yellow jackets. Those things are devils. They're from the spawn of Satan. They're ground nesting, and they're so aggressive. And they love nesting in stump holes and just little burrows in the ground. You'll never see them till you step in the nest or go over the nest, and they'll swarm and they'll get you. The stings from them feel like a .22 shell. I got stung in the back of the head once, stepped over the nest. They come out, 3 quick taps to the back of my head from yellow jackets. It swelled up so bad, and they are just terrible. There's not much you can do to prevent them. If you get stung and you have an allergic reaction, you better seek medical attention, because people die every year from bee and wasp stings. If you are allergic, take your EpiPen with you and just try to avoid them, because they are everywhere in these southern woods. And in the fall, they tend to congregate around fruit that's come off the trees, pears, apples, persimmons, because they're seeking the sugars in them. So be very careful, because if you get hit by those, you will know it. Number 5 is spiders. Black widows, brown recluses, we have them both down here. I've had encounters with both. Never been bit, but they've been in my equipment. I've had black widows in some of my equipment. Once again, it's only the female that bites you, and usually only when you disturb them or they feel threatened. Now, they love to hang around wood piles, love to hang around outhouses, privies. So if you're on the trail and you're using the privy, just make certain, look all around, brush away anything that's close to where you're going to sit. Because if you get a black widow bite or even a brown recluse bite, you're going to end up seeking medical attention, because it will rot away the skin of your bite, cause severe skin damage. So once again, if you get bit by one of those, you better seek medical attention. Number 4 down here is rabies. Rabies is a problem in eastern United States, but in the south, skunks, bats, raccoons, coyotes, fox, they all carry rabies. And if an animal's not acting right, if it has lost its fear of man, if it approaches you and it's snarling, anything, get away from it. If you have the means to dispatch the animal, dispatch it. That's why I carry my pistol with me a lot of times when I'm hiking, just because of that problem. There have been some rabies cases here recently from raccoons. People try to pet them, think they're a nice little pet, or they try to secure them. Stay away from them. A scratch, a bite, the saliva gets in your skin, you've just became an extra on The Walking Dead. Symptoms of rabies, just like a zombie. You know, it affects your neurological processes. You're going to foam at the mouth, just like it. If you get bit and the animal tests positive, you have to go through a series of painful rabies shots. So if an animal's not acting right, do not interact with it. Number 3, of course, snakes, poisonous snakes. We are blessed down here in the south having rattlesnakes, copperheads, water moccasins, and coral snakes. We also have 2 or 3 varieties of the rattlesnake. I've had many encounters with poisonous snakes. I've not been bit, but it's been real close. I actually did get struck by a rattlesnake that I had shot, stepped on its head, cut the head off, and when I removed my foot, it was a timber rattler, it recoiled and struck me in the calf without the head. It was the bloody stub of the snake. Muscle memory. A dead snake can kill you as fast as a live snake. My wife and I were hiking in South Carolina that day. It was a 6-foot timber rattler. It scared her to death. Needless to say, it got my attention too. So be careful. Watch out. 9 times out of 10, the snakes don't want a confrontation. They want to get away from you. You're not something they're going to eat. However, they will strike at you. They will come at you if you disturb them. Copperhead's aggressive snake. Water moccasin, aggressive snake. I've had water moccasins get in my boat while fishing, try to steal my fish off my stringer that was over the side of my boat. Copperhead's #1 biter in the United States. However, very mild poison. Normally there's only 5 to 10 deaths a year in the United States from poisonous snakes. Now the water moccasin, the copperhead, rattlesnake are all pit vipers. They have the pits that are heat-seeking. The coral snake, however, is not a pit viper. You actually have to handle the coral snake. Very tiny teeth, and they actually grab hold of you and suck and inject their venom that way. So the coral snake, the old saying, red and yellow will kill a fellow. It's red, yellow, black, their sequence of stripes. You see a pretty snake like that, just leave it be. It's not, if you pick up the wrong snake, it's going to get you. #2 on my list down here are ticks. The reason I put ticks as #2 is because I got bit by a tick this past spring while turkey hunting. I ended up with the case of Rocky Mountain fever. 2-3 days after the tick bite started exhibiting the symptoms, just flu-like symptoms, muscle aches, tired, just the feeling of not feeling well, and then got the little bullseye bite. So I went to the doctor, of course, and ended up getting on a 3-week dose of doxycycline. So once again, I don't like ticks. The little seed ticks you're not even going to see. You have to be careful. Once again, DEET, permethrin, check yourself. When you come back in from the woods, check your ankles, behind your knees, your groin area, your waist area, your underarms, your hair, your scalp, anywhere. So all it takes is one bite. Lyme disease, talk to somebody that's had Lyme disease and see how they're feeling. They have muscle pain for years. So take all the precautions. It doesn't seem like a big creature could do that much damage. You know, I mean, a small creature could do that big of damage. But they will put you down. Take it from me. I'm just getting over Rocky Mountain spotted fever from this spring. Then #1 on my list down here, dehydration. Today the humidity is 95 to 100%, 90-degree actual temperature, and it will suck the water right out of you. If you've never been dehydrated, you don't know the symptoms, but if you are dehydrated, your body's 70% water. So you start losing water through sweating, you're going to start exhibiting the symptoms. Thirsty, sticky mouth, dry tongue, tired, you're going to get weak, you can't think straight, you get mental fog. So dehydration can put you in a world of hurt quickly. Like today, between Shadow and I, we've consumed over a gallon of water and probably 1.5 quarts of Gatorade for me. It's important that you dehydrate. Camelbacks are great. Drink your water as you hike. Average person needs 3 liters of water every 4 to 5 hours of hiking in this heat and humidity. If you don't pay attention to your water intake and you get in the woods, you could end up in a bad situation. You could end up in a life-threatening situation. Now, once again, that's my top 10 list. You can rank them any way you want to, but I have personal experience with all 10 of them. Hey, have fun. Get in the woods. Don't let these things keep you out of the woods. Other people have excuses, but, you know, just get out there. There are preventatives to take. And if, however, you do have a bad experience, just chalk it up to education. So this is the Old Navy Chief signing off. And we'll do some videos next week up on the Appalachian Trail. So fair winds and following season.